Izzy Bites, check it out. Listen, if your meatloaf always comes out dry, well, today I'm going to show you how to make a perfectly juicy meatloaf every time. I mean, no fancy steps, just simple ingredients that work every single time. So let's get right into it. Alright, Izzy Bites, let's get in the kitchen and let's get it popping. For 2.5 to 3 pounds of ground beef, we're going to need 3 celery stalks, 3 mushrooms, 1 red bell pepper, and a half of a white onion, and 3 eggs. And for our background singers, we're going to have Lee and Perrin Worcestershire sauce, dash Italian seasoning blend, granulated garlic powder, granulated onion powder, 4C panko seasoned breadcrumbs, fresh ground black pepper. Now for the star of the show, we have 73% lean, 27% fat ground beef. Now I recommend you go with this percentage because it'll keep your meat more moist. If you decide to go higher in your lean percentage, it's all good because your vegetables are still going to make your meatloaf juicy. It's all about the vegetables. Now, when it comes to our meat here, we're going to spread it out, and I suggest that you do it in a pan. Reason being is because when you do it in a bowl, you don't get as much coverage with your seasons as you can when it's in a pan. So we're going to start off with 1/8 cup of dash Italian medley seasoning. Now, this has no salt in it. It's just all herbs, okay? Next, we're going to hit it with our Lawry's garlic salt. This one has the parsley in it, okay? Make sure you use this one. This is one of the best garlic salts that's out there. Next is the granulated garlic powder. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of this, followed by 2 tablespoons of our onion powder. Now, Izzy Bites, know this. It is the vegetables that is adding the moisture to your meatloaf. Okay, you want to use vegetables that are wet. That's why we have the celery that has the water in it. We have the onion that has the water in it. We also have the bell pepper that has the water in it as well. That's very juicy. And also the mushrooms. I suggest that as well, you use maybe 1 to 2 carrots. I didn't have them, so I didn't use them. Also, 4 to 5 garlic cloves. Okay, so all of this that we are using is to add moisture to our meat. So what we're going to do is give all of these just a rough chop. Nothing fancy, no small dice or no large dice, just a rough chop. And we're going to add all of these vegetables to our food processor. Now, we're going to take our vegetables and we're going to blend them down until they turn into like a mush. Okay, we're going to have like some big pieces, but mostly small pieces because the wetness in these vegetables is going to spread out into our meat and give us that juiciness. Now, while we were cutting up our vegetables, the seasonings that we put into our meat have now started to bloom. So we're going to fold our meat in from the bottom into the middle, from back to front, so that everything is combined evenly. Okay, now it's time for us to put our vegetable mush in, which is going to give us all of that juiciness within our meatloaf. And we're just going to spread it out as much as possible. And you know what I forgot to tell y'all? The Worcestershire sauce. You're going to take 3 tablespoons of that Worcestershire sauce and you're going to beat it into your egg and then pour it over your meat. Then you're going to take your 1.5 cups of panko breadcrumbs and spread it over your meat as well. Now we're going to go in and we're going to continue to fold. We're going to fold in the breadcrumbs and the egg because this is going to help our meatloaf to stick together like a glue. It's a combination from that egg and those breadcrumbs, okay? So we're going to fold in from bottom to top, from side to side. Okay, we're gonna make sure that all of this is evenly spread out. Now, as you see, as I'm doing this, I'm steadily starting to mold this into the shape of the loaf, okay? Now, I want to do that. You're going to want to do that because as I'm doing it, molding it into a loaf, I want to make it easy to pick up and bring over to the next area. You see that? Okay. So now we're molding it. We're basically done adding all the seasons and so forth. We're kind of like at the end of the section where we're molding our meatloaf, and I'm trying to mold it to the point where there aren't too many cracks, because when you cook this meat, being that it has a high ratio of fat in there, when the fat starts to dissolve, it's gonna cause cracks, or it can cause cracks. So we want to try to mold that and push that into one another as much as possible and not have that many cracks. And I mean, if you do, it is what it is, because it's still gonna come out good. All right, now see, I have the meatloaf on top of a rack and it's over a pan. Well, the reason for that is because you don't want your meat to be cooking in that blood. We try to keep from eating blood because blood is not what we're supposed to eat. Also, I suggest for you to get this rack and have it over a pan and pour water at the bottom of the pan, so when you put it in the oven, it won't be that much smoke, okay? Because the grease, the fat, and the blood is going to fall down to the bottom of the pan. This is why I suggest you have it on a rack over a pan, because you don't want it to be sitting in that blood and cooking in that blood. All right. Now, some people use those meatloaf pans, the loaf pans, and they'll stuff the meat all into that loaf pan. And when the blood is coming out, it's just circling around the meatloaf and just cooking and singeing onto the meat. So when you dump it out of the loaf pan and you cut it, you're eating meat with blood all cooked on it, okay? And we're not supposed to eat blood. So this is the best option, one of the best options of cooking your meatloaf, which is on top of a rack, on top of a pan, so all the bad stuff can fall down to the bottom. Now, fam, it's time to place our meatloaf in a preheated 350-degree oven. While that meatloaf is cooking in the oven for those 30 minutes, we're going to go ahead and work on our barbecue sauce. Now, I'm using a cup of brown sugar. You can use more, but a cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of the Worcestershire sauce, and a tablespoon of mustard, and a tablespoon of hot sauce. And we're just going to combine that together and press down and making sure we get those lumps out of here, because you know how that brown sugar can be, it can get hard. So we're going to keep on mixing until it gets smooth. Now that it's smooth, you're going to put it in a pot with a small saucepan and put it on the stove so that it can get warm. It'll be easier to spread. Now this is what we're looking like after 35 minutes. It's not done yet. But this is the point where we're going to want to spread on our sauce. We're going to spread this sauce on pretty heavy, and we're going to do this so that it will be on for the last 25 to 30 minutes that we have left to cook, okay? And while it goes into the oven, the sauce is going to be able to caramelize and become sticky and really stuck on to that meatloaf. Then we're going to throw it back into the oven for 30 minutes until the temp reaches 160 degrees. And this is what we got. Now we're gonna let this rest for 20-25 minutes or so, because the juices are still moving around and bubbling inside the meat. We're gonna do this before we cut it, because if we cut it right after it comes out the oven, the juices are just gonna pour out and it's gonna get dry. Absolutely caramelized that sauce has gotten. Now it's time to slice it up. This meatloaf is not stiff like a lot of meatloafs are. It's nice and juicy and tender to the bite. Now, Izzy Bites, y'all don't have to do this part right here, but it sure will help when it comes to the visual. I had to add a little pop of color to get a little fancy, so I chopped up some parsley and I just sprinkled it on the top. Now, don't that red and that green go together perfectly? Just absolutely beautiful. This thing is juicy, and I mean juicy. Family, just another classic to add to your recipe book. Let me know down in the comments how you feel about it. Try it. You'll love it. I'm telling you, it's a guarantee that your family will love it. Till the next time, Izzy Bites. Peace.